Hi, this is a continuation of, I think it's going to be called questioning a Anwar Al-Awlaki supporter. And if you haven't seen this video series, I'm just letting you know that I've been on the internet. And, oh, I've got to set this. Yeah, time is clicking here, and I don't want to run out of time here, so give myself 15 minutes. Since YouTube allows 15 minutes on allows it 15 minutes, I'm going to make it 15 minutes. Take it to it's as far as I can go before it goes over the 15-minute marker. But anyway, as I was saying, I've noticed that there are a lot of Muslims, even though Bush said Islam is a religion of peace. There are a lot of Muslims in support of bin Laden and Al-Awlaki on the internet, and I've got one that I'm talking with. He responded to me first, and so I'm now asking questions, and I hope that when I put this on YouTube, it'll get him to respond to me, because he's avoiding me for some reason, and I'm hoping this will coax him into talking to me again, but we'll see here. Anyway, I say this. Were those car bombs in Shiite marketplaces caused by Jews dressed up like Sunnis to make Islam look evil? Although you say it sarcastically, oh, it could have been the case. Allah couldn't say B to keep Jews from dressing up like Sunnis, setting off car bombs in Shiite marketplaces to keep Islam from looking evil? Just recently, America has released a memo showing how the two wars, Afghanistan and Iraq, were all part of a bigger plan to change the world's political map. This could have been done for a number of reasons, such as to ensure Israel's dominance in the region. How does Israel dominate the region? Was it able to get Gilad Shalit back from Gaza? Can you give examples of how Israel dominates the region? Or to implement two puppet regimes to get oil very cheap, like in Saudi Arabia. And that's a bad thing, true? The wars were not anything to do with weapons of mass destruction. If you study the Clinton administration and Ahmed Chalabi, you'd see it was weapons of mass destruction as motivation. However, it looks like the Clintons were being lied to by Chalabi. However, it looks like the Clintons were lied to by Chalabi now. This just shows that the West is unreliable to trust, as they lie in huge matters and can't be trusted. Sure, it wasn't the USA falling for the lies of Ahmed Chalabi due to Muhammad saying war is deceit, and not knowing that in Islam a Muslim is able to lie in war. Chalabi was Shiite, and every Sunni I talk to says that Shiites lie, not Sunnis. They say Sunnis aren't allowed to lie, but they say Shiites are, and Chalabi was a Shiite. You don't think America fell for the lies of the Shiite? If you think that the Americans are too morally corrupt, if you think that the Americans are too morally correct to blow up mosques, to make rifts, then you can see that you are wrong, as they started a whole war killing over 1 million innocent Muslims. If America is as evil as Muslims try to make it out, if America and Israel are as evil as Muslims try to make them out to be, how come neither country waited for a huge amount of pilgrims in Mecca, then nuked the place, then EMP'd, electromagnetically pulsed all oil countries, threatened to nuke them if they tried to retaliate? If America and Israel are as evil as Muslims say, then how come they didn't take all the oil? How come they didn't take the oil fields of Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran by force? But instead, America and Israel tried to negotiate with those who do believe war is deceit. Do they not? I've seen a video of U.S. Marines filming a U.S. airstrike on a mosque on YouTube. I bet you feel no one was shooting at them from that mosque, right? That they just started attacking that mosque to be mean. True? Anyway, one of the strategies that the Americans have stated on another document is the strategy of trying to destabilize a country by creating inner conflict such as Sunni and Shia. How do they do that if that's not... how do they do that if that's not war is deceit from a Muslim just to say that? So, although there is a very small chance of misguided Muslims doing it, there is a great chance of the U.S. doing it, seeing as they state it in their own documents as a tactic. A small chance? Here is a very interesting talk going through this document. It gives me the video. And those videos that you posted here won't be war is deceit in action. They won't be taqiyya. And he didn't respond. So then I say this. America is funding Israel to do what? I honestly can't believe you don't know. Well, what is America funding Israel to do? But that is what happens when you only watch mainstream news. That is BBC, CNN, both owned by Rupert Murdoch, and is very biased towards Jews and prevent a lot of the truth about Israel from coming out. Far better to believe news put out by those who believe Muhammad was right when he said war is deceit. True? First thing to know is that all of Palestine, including all of Israel, has been under Muslim control since the Crusades. The leaders of present-day Israel are Muslim? And if so, why do Muslims seem to think Israeli leaders are Satan incarnate? About 60 years ago, America and Europe started sending Jews to Palestine and concentrated them in one area, who were then attacked the very next day by Muslims, it seems. Over time, the Jewish numbers increased, and America claimed an Israeli state for the Jews in 1967. You mean 1948. It was 1967 that the Jews were attacked, and the Jews took Jerusalem from the Muslims, taking over half the Palestinian territory away from them. Do you think that what... Actually, I've got a question for you. Do you think that would have happened if the Muslims didn't try to kill Jews in Israel once Israel was established by the UN in 1948? Understandably, the Palestinians rejected this, as they have been robbed for more than half their homeland by the Americans and the Jews, and so a war broke out between Palestine and Israel. In 1947, when the UN established Israel as a state, other Muslim countries such as Syria and Lebanon got involved as well. Right, they did. And they lost to a little non-Muslim state. Isn't that strange? How come Allah couldn't keep a little tiny state from being victorious. However, the U.S. were funding Israel and sending billions of pounds worth of weapons, giving Israel the dominance, and Israel put a siege on the Palestinians from their own homeland. Now the Palestinians are dying of hunger, and Israel is preventing aid from getting into Palestine using the term terrorist to justify their actions when the Muslims are just protecting their homeland. Did you know that Arabs who aren't Muslim and don't set off bombs and buses and pizza parlors don't have to go through checkpoints? They actually do quite well in Israel. Do you think if Israel wasn't attacked from the get-go, Palestinians would be starving? If they are, as you say, starving? If this is not war is deceit in action? Israel is also robbing even more Palestinian land by building illegal houses in Palestine and building a border wall well within Palestinian territory. You mean Muslim territory? Because to a Muslim, anything not under Islamic territorial control, Dar al-Islam, is called Dar al-Harb, the abode, house of war. And I wanted to say, you know, they just put that wall up to be mean. They weren't doing that because they didn't like getting shot at. You know, it's like the guy doesn't realize why the wall went up. But anyway, he doesn't answer me, so I say, you prefer the term terrorist to freedom fighter, true? That's what I said last time. Jihad is fighting against oppression and injustice. And that's not, and so, and oppression and injustice, that's not code for fighting anything not under Dar al-Islam. It's just the ones doing the injustice, America and West. It's just the ones doing the injustice, America and the West, don't like it when the people prevent them from doing their injustice, such as Anwar Al-Awlaki. Again and again. Can you give examples of those injustices? So far, from my study of Islam, injustice is code for anything not under Islamic territorial control. People fall for the West's tricks because the West the West has full control over the media, and people don't seem to think for themselves. True on the latter, but what kinds of tricks? Weren't shooting rockets and missiles willy-nilly into Israeli neighborhoods from territory Gaza Israel traded with Muslims back in 2005 in the hopes of achieving peace. And he didn't respond. So another one, I say. So he ignores that, but he comes back here and says, he quotes me, on the orders of Obama, right? Or are you saying Obama is too weak to not order such attacks? Obama is not really in complete control. Oh, I gotta stop this. Bye.